you guys might want to take the meat too, you know, cook it up on the engine.
Yeah.
I skinned the one that I killed. Yeah, the one that I killed.
You gain mole rat pelt.
It's actually neat. Is it with the item you can get from it?
You can get them.
Yeah.
Oh. You guys, wait, are you guys using the wiki?
Yes.
I'm not using the wiki. Maybe I should be using the wiki.
Alex, you know how I play these games. I look at crap.
Yeah. Give me a moment. Maybe I should use the wiki. God.
I've played Fallout
Like,
enough.
okay, Alex.
I know basically every item you can get.
That I know the fucking stats for a mole rat, and that's why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Yep. So let's go ahead and.
Okay, my mole rat's name is Rufus.
Okay, Rufus joins the party, and he only has 10 HP remaining, so you might want to heal him up.
What you do? Use your pit boy to go on a name generator online?
Yes, I have the name generator extension. Nico says, popping out the holotape.
Alex.
Yeah, Travis. Oh, yes.
Completely off topic.
Yeah, what's up?
I was trying to figure out how the fuck to spell Noah's name, because I was writing down everyone's name for remembrance.
Yeah.
So I'm like Endolo with an E. I'm like, and then Andalo with an A. Then I'm like, Ezio?
Is that you, Ezio?
I'll show you.
So I'm gonna go ahead and reset everyone's action points to 5. If they're wrong, tell me. Noah's is 8. I know that much. Edolo. Okay.
Mine is 80. I thought mine was 80.
It is not 80.
What are you talking about?
What is your agility stat, Travis?
Mine was 5.
Yeah, your action point. No, that's
Okay,
for New Vegas.
80 right now.
I know.
We're using
Oh,
we're using the stat system from New Vegas, but the combat system but from Fallout 1 and 2. So that's the
And
problem.
he's looking at action points. I see it now.
Okay.
Yeah, the 80.
Say 83 bits. I want 83 action points.
That's too bad.
No, Nico, that's OP.
That's really OP, and like unless you're in power armor and you have like 40 action points and it somehow doubles, which is impossible. Like, God. Anyways,
We could go by the 80.
Mhm.
We could go by like the 80, but then we'd have to give all the enemies a 0 on the end of their action point.
we would, and that would be a problem.
And that's just,
That seems really
too
OP.
much math.
Okay, so you guys all climb back into the wagon after scavenging.
So okay.
They're your
so,
agility
okay,
stat,
hold on.
Nico. What's your agility stat?
Agility.
Okay, so you have 6 action points.
So we all just gained a massive thing here.
We just gained a bunch of supplies. Yeah, so remember to eat every now and again. I'm gonna say you guys should have to eat at least once each campaign. So you should probably try to think about doing that. If you don't, I'll be nerfing you on the next campaign.
Alright.
Basically, the way I'm gonna do
Let's cook these mole rats up on the engine.
Okay, you guys want to continue along your way while you do that?
Sure.
Alrighty.
Sure.
I will nurse my mole
Wait,
rat back.
so are we gonna do the D&D thing, levels after campaigns, or like...
Level.
have an XP
Okay,
bar?
so the way scenarios are going to work. Yeah, we're doing it that way. Yes. And oh, go ahead.
How much mole rat meat and mole rat teeth did I gain for that?
Well, there were 3. You killed 3, so 3.
Okay. Wait, no, we killed 2. How
You
many
killed-
were there?
You killed 1. Travis.
I killed 1.
Uh-huh.
You killed...
So basically, we
did you?
both have 1.
Yeah, well, you guys all have something, and Nico doesn't have anything, however, because he kept his alive like a weirdo.
No, I killed one.
Noah, you can have my mole rat's teeth.
Oh, yeah, that's
I
right.
don't need it.
I killed one and I saved one.
So, and I'm telling you, Steve, I was ready to stop. The only clicking that I heard that day. Sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and skip the roll for the 2. I'm gonna go ahead and skip the 2-minute roll. But basically, the way this is gonna work is we're gonna do one campaign. Each campaign is going to be travel and then city. So you'll travel to a city and you'll do whatever in that city. If you decide to skip the city, we'll just keep traveling. And then every time you complete a city quest, which is each city will have its own quest. Every time you do that, you'll be able to get hold on a moment. You'll get a level. So it's progression based, like D&D.
Cool.
Hey, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can see it, but click on notebook and go all the way down.
Oh, yeah, you've been editing it. Okay. Edolo's notebook. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Okay, so you guys are currently cooking up. You guys cooked up the mole rat meat. You cooked all of it, right?
The roll mat.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll.
I'm guessing someone has a knife.
So who's the one cooking? No, are you cooking?
What is that going off of? Survival?
Yes.
I thought John was cooking.
Yo, I have a question.
Wait,
bro.
wait. Okay. Well, first off, who's cooking? Who's cooking the small rat?
Who has the highest survival?
Well, I'm gonna say right now, according to my pit boy, my survival is 32.
Yeah, you should do it.
Yeah.
4, 4, 3.
Alright, looks like I'm chef. Ay, ay, ay. Who got the spices? Oh, wait, we can count on. This is a fucking wasteland.
With some taco.
Cool. So, yep. All right. So nothing happened that roll. We'll go ahead and keep it going. So,
Wait,
you're
so we're not cooking it?
no, you're rolling, Noah.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll your d20.
Okay, hold on. Let me get on my notebook for a second.
You said it was 30, right, or 30 something?
It is 30.
Okay.
32.
That's I'm gonna go ahead and say the cooking requirement for stuff like this is like 1 or is like 10. So you're higher than that. You get 3 slabs of grilled mole rat. That should satisfy 1 hunger, which means you gain 1 hunger and 1 thirst each time you play. Each campaign adds 1 hunger and 1 thirst. Do you guys have any water?
No.
No.
All right, so you guys are waterless, so you're a little bit thirsty. However, you did cook up the mole rat meat, and you're able to eat that, and that's going to satisfy your hunger for this scenario. You guys are almost at your destination. I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick roll. You look up at the front of the wagon, and you notice that the timer on the computer is at 4 minutes. You apparently have 1 minute remaining till you arrive at your destination. Let's go ahead and. All right. So he's all.
Question?
He should probably keep it. Yeah. What
I'm a doctor. I have medicine skills.
What did you bandage him up with, though?
What?
Just think of something you could have. What did you bandage him up with? Like some of the pelts we took or something?
Yeah.
Okay. From
the pump that I got from killing the other one.
so.
Wait, what is medical going on?
Okay. Well, Nico, you can't just say you've patched him up. We got to do a roll to make sure.
Okay. What's the
Yeah.
The threshold is why am I rolling Noah's dice? I'll go ahead and roll a d20, Nico, and add that to your medical stat.
Yo, Econate, I have a question. What does your pit boy say your medicine stat is?
34.
All right, so that's
That's higher than mine.
that checks. That checks. So you're able actually to you don't even need to use supplies. Your just the heat and just being able to just relax causes the lacerations in his face and nasal cavities to clot. He needs to rest, but he'll be okay. Okay, so we have 1 minute remaining. And there's not going to be any more encounter rolls. You're simply just going to be arriving at your destination soon.
Alright, so we got how much?
You currently have 3 slabs of mole rat meat and
No, like time.
Oh, 1 minute. You guys are almost
Where's
there.
the timer on here?
The black timer next to the thing. I'm gonna go ahead and get the other soundtrack ready.
Okay, I see it. Yo, question. Because I'm weird, can you flip that to face up?
No.
Oh no, I see. Whoa. How'd you get it tilted, Alex?
So,
Yeah.
By 4 skill points, I am a better doctor than you.
so
What?
Travis is a better doctor than you by 4 skill points.
I don't care.
Okay, so
But I thought it was funny.
the wagon
I'm a doctor and a writer.
the wagon continues ahead, and in front of you can see a small town with tons of semi-high buildings. Not the biggest, but tall compared to what you saw in. They're all about half as tall as Almar's roof is, and you can see the city from a distance. You can kind of get a good wide berth of what is in the city. You're coming from the north, and on one side you can see tons of red banners hanging from the buildings. You see a couple people walking around in silver-looking armor. Some of them wearing military helmets. Some of them wearing black face masks. Most of them, however, have their faces covered. On the left, to you guys' left, you can see through the front window of the wagon the other side of town. Instead of having the banners hanging from buildings, they have the banners on makeshift flagpoles, flapping happily in the wind. It is rather dark outside, however, the city is lightly lit, and every now and again you can hear a pop, and it doesn't sound like fireworks, but it doesn't sound like gunfire either. On the flag on your left side, the flags on your left side, they're emblazoned with a two-headed bear, the flag of the New California Republic. The flag shakes in the winter wind. The flag flaps in the winter wind. However, you can also see that the flags are somewhat makeshift. They look as though they've been almost spray painted on. If this is an NCR settlement, it's obviously a very makeshift one. On your right side, however, you see the red banners of Caesar's Legion. However, instead of seeing the normal crucifixes that you normally see, the side of the road is completely vacant of corpses. The red banners, however, are still hanging in place as they normally are. And there are some bull skulls and stuff labeling on the buildings on your right side. You're currently on a hill overlooking the building, and in front of you is a road leading down into the town. However, the road forks in two different ways. The road forks to the right, to the Legion side, and to the left, to the NCR side. Which way would the party like to go?
Fuck the Legion. I don't like the NCR myself, but the Legion, ugh. Let's see what those guys did back in Mojave.
So I guess we're going that way because I don't got no issue with it. Unless you know.
Any questions, Ikone?
Okay, wait.
One more time?
Are we getting out of the wagon?
You are cool.
You're very cool.
You're
No,
chill.
okay,
You're
Are
chill.
we getting out of the wagon to go?
No, the wagon is going to continue along its course.
Okay.
There we go, the NCR route.
Okay.
Because I hate both of them.
So, you continue along the road in your wagon. It putters along, and as you get closer, you start to see barrels and fires lit on the side of the road to try to keep the streets somewhat warm. You see, however, what you do see is not the normal formations of the NCR. They don't even seem to be in uniform. Some of the men and women in uniform are actually shirtless. But they seem all very comfortable in what they're doing. And they look at the wagon, and they look at you, and they go, "Hey, come on out, guys, it's all cool out here. You guys coming to join the party?"
Yo.
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yes, we can hear you, Indolo, says God. So,
Oh, Jesus! You're finally answering my prayers.
So the woman in the green military pants and the helm. A woman walks up to the cart. She's wearing what seems to be a fairly basic military helmet, kind of pulled down tight over her eyes. She's not wearing a shirt at all, but she does have what looks to be a coat, a fur draped around her back. She's also smoking a cigarette, and she is currently inhaling jet as she walks up to the vehicle.
Oh god, these guys are drugged out of their minds.
Hey, it's all cool. It's all cool out here. We're gonna go have a party. We're gonna have a good little mock battle in a bit. She says,
What?
pounding on the window.
Let's just drive along.
Thank you.
Drive a lot.
Thank
Nah,
you,
let's-
but
come on,
let me talk to them. Thank you, ma'am. But we have business to attend to further down the road. If you could just point us to the direction of the next town, we'd be grateful.
Oh, next town. Well, you're in it. This is Loma. This is our town. It's great here. Everything's great. Complimentary jet, plenty of shelter, plenty of food. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay.
Guys, I don't like this, but I think we
immediately interrupted by a few loud pops. Some of the streetlights go out, and the woman who is currently being so nice starts screaming as she dives for the dirt, firing her rifle at something. She can't really see what she's shooting at, but she doesn't stop squeezing off service rifle rounds, and bullets continue flying left and right, some even piercing the wagon.
Get down.
I'm already
Come
down.
on, Rufus.
I've been
I
down.
said so.
Sarah is just planking right now, sick of this shit. A few more. The road that you're riding on, the road that the wagon is on, suddenly gets lit ablaze by a Molotov cocktail that is shattered in the street. You hear several machine gun turrets in the buildings above you firing off towards the NCR side of the city. After about 2 minutes of this gunfire going off, the lady who had dove to the ground doesn't get back up. She's actually completely silent. And the city street corner that you were on is now completely silent. No orders being given. Every person you had just saw is now laying on the ground in a pool of their own blood.
Hey, guys, you think they're gone?
I don't know.
I don't want to take any chances.
I don't either.
I agree with them.
Oh, I'm gonna take a little tiny peek.
Okay.
Did you just say I'm gonna take a little pee-pee?
No,
Little tiny peek.
Little tiny peek.
So Edolo pokes his head up above to see that everyone on the NCR side of the town, not everyone, but a couple more soldiers are now walking outwards. These ones are actually somewhat more equipped, but again, that same lackadaisical attitude and look is all around them. They're not wearing their uniform. They're wearing what looks to be fur coats, something a bit more sensible. One of the NCR soldiers walks up next to the wagon and nudges the lady on the ground with his foot. It's like, damn. Surprised that the Legion took her before the Legion slaves took her before the cold did. You guys all right in there? He says, leaning up, looking into the wagon.
Aside from being shaken, yeah, I'd say we are. What the hell was that?
Yeah, I'm pretty good, you know. Kind of when you said, you know, like, it's good. Yeah, kind of. Who are you? What's your name? Come on.
My name isn't important.
Lieutenant. Did I hear that?
Yes, my name is Lieutenant, and yep, my last name is Tennant.
You're not Tony J.
Tony Johnson? Do we have a Tony J here? Tony J.
What? You people don't know who Tony J is?
Yeah. I don't know who you're talking about, mate.
I.
You guys are.
Mate, it's easy. Like, you know.
So,
crazy people say, right?
anyways, Mr. Lou says to you, I'm guessing you guys are wondering what the hell's going on here.
I mean, yeah, kind
Among
of.
other
You got
things.
people left and right, Huck and Jet over here. I mean, I'm confused.
Yeah, these are a bit of rabble rousers. They go out and kill time and try to get high and kill, and it's kill time. You know, you're supposed to kill, not get high and kill at the same time. You know, his lax demeanor is still there, even though he's in a fuller uniform. He's still very chill, as if he's been doing this every day. However, if you guys want to talk to anyone, I would recommend you would talk to General Ellie. She should be on top of the old theater. He points outwards to a theater with a large sign labeled Loma, Loma. On the roof of the theater, you can see what look to be makeshift mortars set up to basically rain ordnance on the other side. This is in the left, on your left side, by the way. If you're going to want to talk to anyone, you're going to want to talk to her. The sun should be going up soon. The streets get pretty hot during the day, so you guys should be okay. But in terms of shelter, I would strongly recommend heading into the Loma and talking to her.
Okay.
Got any other choice?
Now all these people laying across the ground.
Yeah.
what about them? You know, like, not that I care, but
What about him?
they got a couple things on them.
I steal their shit.
Like,
Well,
like,
I personally don't partake in it myself. But I understand the need for warm bodies, and these are still pretty warm if you want to take them. Some of my higher ups like to do it, but overall to myself, I think I prefer living women over dead.
yeah, sure, yeah, man, sure. So up for grabs.
Yeah, up for grabs. However, we will have to take back. We will have to take back her. We will have to require her clothing, rifles, her clothing, ammo, and weapon. However, if you want any of her organs or her, feel free. She's served her purpose.
All right.
Never mind.
No.
No. Let's take this one right here.
No.
Well, we do need food.
We are not
You guys don't have the cannibalism perk. You can't. When you get the cannibalism perk, sure, go ahead.
I mean, hey, okay, listen. I don't know about y'all. Listen, I don't know about y'all, but that is a molar right there, and that thing need to eat, and I don't want it eating us while we're sleeping.
That
You know,
that is a good point.
That is a good point.
So we taking this.
Lou kneels next to her. Lou kneels next to the girl pulling out his combat knife. So, what part you want? What do you think your little pet would want the most?
The legs and the arms.
Okay.
The juicy pussy.
He very gently slides the knife in through the front of her thigh, and she wakes up.
Oh my god. What?
Even through the cloudy mist of jet, she feels it. She doesn't scream per se, but instead she looks like she's about to scream, but all that comes out of her throat is a dull whistle.
Oh, this Christ.
Mr. Tennant quickly yanks his combat knife out of her leg, being careful not to scrape the inside of her leg with the serrated edge, and looks down and simply says, "Well, shit."
Oh my god. What just happened?
Two grunts, also looking very lackadaisical, wearing ratty jackets they probably stole from clothing stores nearby, quickly patch her up, and carry her, dragging her by her legs, which is probably not standard military issue for moving corpses to and fro, bodies to and fro. He's like, "Well, she's been moved." He looks at the party, who's shocked and terrified. Even the mole rat's afraid. And he looks at the party and he goes, "Well, if you guys need anything, you'll get it from General Ellie. She's up in Loma. Now, if you excuse me, I have some Romans to kill." He pulls out his pistol and begins walking to the other end of the street, completely devoid of cover or any kind of tactical expression. He doesn't take cover, he just walks ramrod stiff towards the other end of the street alone, into the darkness. Through the night sky, the night sky is occasionally lit up every now and again from mortar fire or gunfire.
I'm sorry, but your meal is alive.
You could always feed a mole rat.
We can always put
listen.
Nico does not feel like I think Nico's a bit too ethical for this world.
Yeah, no.
Iko lays very ethically focused because she is a doctor after all, and they do have a pretty strict code of ethics.
You do what you gotta do to survive.
You do, yeah, exactly.
I'm not gonna feed
So-
my rat.
so-
You gotta do what you gotta do to survive.
How about we just put out its misery and then eat it?
No!
Alright, listen.
Rufus is not getting.
I just want to point out that a woman was mangled in front of you, and you guys are worrying about protecting their mole rat.
Oh, it happens every day.
So the buildings around you are all blasted out. However, every now and again a soldier will climb up the building and man a turret. Again, the city is basically pitch black due to the destruction of the lights, but every now and again the city is lit by a flash of gunfire or mortar fire, and in front of you see a couple bombed out buildings here and there, most of which are occupied by soldiers. However, up ahead on your left you see a larger building that's a little bit more well lit with several torches on it. That's the theater. What would the party like to do?
Get the hell out of there. Get the hell out
I
of
think
here.
under the cover of darkness we should leave the building.
There are things we can do here.
Okay.
I'm not gonna stay. You really think we should
Like,
really stay here where there's the war going on?
Like loot the buildings? That was a pretty good idea.
I mean, yeah, there's stuff like obviously these people are getting their crap from somewhere, so might as well go. I mean,
And
does
if
it seem
is
like they
still
have any
dark
beef
out,
with
we
us?
can, like, be under the cover of darkness and not, well, try not to be.
So, okay, which side of the road you're going to loot, the left or right?
Well, since I'm guessing we're getting out of the wagon, right?
Yes, you will be getting out of the wagon. You look on your monitor and you realize that you see a small temperature indicator, indicating that the temperature is higher than it normally is. This area feels as though it has a bit more inconsistent weather than the rest of the wasteland that you've been on so far. Probably due to the fact that it is it is actually further inland from the lake, so the weather is probably not hitting it as hard.
Hey, no, I have an idea. Or whatever the lake.
Mi nombre es Edo.
Indolo. We leave these two pussies here. I take left, you take right.
You know what? I'm down.
Okay. So Endolo steps out of the wagon and in front of him you can see several buildings that are they seem to be abandoned, however you don't know. The building on if you're standing in the center, you're standing in the middle, the building directly in front of you seems to have a little bit of light coming through the cloudy windows. However, it seems relatively abandoned, probably like a lit torch in there still, not much else. The building on your left, on the other hand, has smoke pouring out of its windows. Pouring through the crack in its door. The windows seem to largely be intact. The building on your right, however, has several what look to be rifle barrels hanging out of it. So, yes, what's your plan?
Alright. Let me check that out over there.
Check what out?
I'm going to the rifle bear one, but I'm gonna go slowly. You know, kind of like look like I'm passing by,
Okay.
just to look in.
Okay. So as
You're gonna get fucking killed, man.
So as you walk by, you see on the ground, you see inside the room that there are several people, all of which are dead. Each one of them has a bullet hole in the same spot in their head, and their blood seems to have all congealed into one mass below their naked bodies. All three of them are seem to be holding standard issue handguns. And I'm echoing really bad. But yeah, I think it's Chris's mic.
Yeah.
Regardless, you see in the room that these people. There's also several canisters of jet and psycho surrounding them, all of which are expended. However, behind them are look to be several ammo crates and a few books stacked in the corner.
Grab me some books.
Shit. Okay, let me just say the fact that y'all aren't even here.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. Endolo completely gets the choices on his own now because he's on his own. Once Endolo finishes his action, we'll jump over to see what Sarah finds.
Alright, I'm gonna. Okay, so look over here, look over here. Alright, I'm gonna grab two of these guys.
Okay, so you grab two 9mm pistols. They all seem to be in a state of disrepair. However, with the right know-how, you could probably repair one with the other, bringing it back to peak condition.
Okay, so these are all fucking broken. I'm gonna grab this third one too.
Okay. You see that none of them have clips in them. They all look like they were manually loaded before the users killed themselves. One of the third pistol you cannot pick up off the floor though because it seems to be stuck in the dried blood on the floor.
Nice.
Shit.
If you give it a little bit of force, you probably get it off the floor.
Okay, I'm gonna watch my foot in here because this is all blood. I'm gonna see if I can get this out.
So you yank backwards on the gun and your finger slips, slamming the trigger, and completely beheading one of the corpses. There was still one bullet left in one of them, and it ended up splattering one of the corpses' heads off. And you stumble backwards onto the pile of books.
Okay, wait, what are these books?
As you look around you, you see there are 3 books. There's Pugilism Illustrated, a small book centered around boxing. All 3 of which seem to be magazines or almanacs. The one in front of you is Grognak the Barbarian, a story about a barbarian named Grognak, of all things. And the one on your right is Tales of a Junktown Jerky Vendor.
Oh, what the? Yo, Tales of the Junktown Jerky Vendor. Cool. Yo, this looks like an interesting read here.
Okay, you grabbing all 3 of them?
So, yeah, I'm gonna grab all 3 of these.
Alright, you grab Pugilism Illustrated, Tales of a Junktown Jerky Vendor, and Grognak the Barbarian, and you add all 3 of them to your inventory, as well as the 3 pistols you currently picked up. There seems
weigh anything?
0.5 each. 0.5,
0.5.
yep, for your weight.
Fucking, I need another one of these cameras.
There are, the ammo crates next to you, however, their lids seem to be coming off. They seem to be over full with something.
Oh, wait, hold up. I'm gonna lift this up slowly.
As you lift it up slowly, you notice that it is not actually full of... isn't actually full of bullets, but full of dog tags, piled all the way to the top, all of which seem to be used in some way, shape, or form.
Oh, yo. This may be scrapped.
It may be. I don't know. You probably need a forge to melt it down.
Yeah. I'm gonna...
Each one of those is 1, and there's like 50 of them. So if you want to fill up your fucking inventory with 50 dog tags, be my guest.
I'm not taking 50 fucking dog tags, alright? I'm gonna take 5 of the bitches.
Okay, take 5 dog tags. There's still 2 more ammo crates.
Okay, let me check these other 2 slowly and carefully.
This one is labeled. This one actually has writing on it, and it's labeled my shrapnel box.
Oh.
Ew.
Shrapnel?
Shrapnel, yep. Travis got it.
Let me open this up.
As you open it up, you smell iron. Like you smell an iron, musty smell, but it may be blood, it may be the shrapnel itself, but there are piles of used shrapnel inside the box. Chunks of metal picked from flesh.
Ew.
Oh, okay, yeah. This is stuff here.
That is so freaking gross.
Yep.
Let me count right now.
And the next one is going to be the other one's going to be the ammo box, and it's just smaller ammo boxes in the box.
Alright, this was
My
cool.
ammo
This
box
was
here
cool.
in the box.
Now this
It's my candy bar bag carrying bag.
Okay.
So there's
how
one-
much ammo is in the...
The final box, it has no ammo, and it looks all to be just standard issue military bullet casings from the service rifles.
Alright, how many of these are there?
It seems to be about 50 casings, each one taking about 0.1 inventory space. They're light and they should be easy to carry. However, the difficult part would be finding something to do with them, due to them not being made of metal or any kind of material that could be melted down. They're made.
What do you mean made of metal?
They're made out of a very cheap metal that can't be melted down without damaging it,
Oh.
like aluminum or some
Yeah,
shit.
just bullet casings.
Are they the kind that you could refill? Cause
Yeah, you could refill them. You'd need powder and all that, you know. You could break down ammo from guns you don't have to make ammo for guns you do.
Alright, I'm gonna take... How many of this is there? How much did you say?
Oh, 30. So it'd be 0.30 added to your weight.
0.30?
Yep, 30 military casings. This room seems to be fairly exhausted. I'm gonna go ahead and jump over to Sarah. We're gonna cut over to Sarah. Sarah steps out of the wagon and sees one building that seems to be semi-empty. However, the door is still on its hinges and the windows seem to be spray-painted pitch black.
Wait, no question. I did get the 2 handguns, right?
Yes, you got the 3 handguns.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I just wasted an ammo.
So,
I
and
think to myself, clap my hands together and say, well, let's check this motherfucker out.
Did you say
so,
no clips, Alex?
Yeah, there's no clip.
no clips. They're just completely empty. They were loaded. They were all loaded manually. One of which was so yeah. There were 3 bullets and 3 guns, and only 2 of them fired off. And there are 3 corpses. So yeah, do the math on that one.
So I have.
Actually, 3 of them fired off because he accidentally shot that one.
Yeah, well, yeah. Hey. But no, the building in front of you, the windows seem to be spray-painted black. The door comes open fairly easy, Sarah. As you step into the room, you see what seem to be several Legion people, all of which are sitting on the floor, and they seem to be just sitting there, staring at each other, not saying anything. Their eyes are wide open, and they're just completely silent. Every now and again, one of them breathes heavily and stops.
Are they, like, tied up or anything?
Nope.
Or are they just, like, sitting there?
They're completely unbound. They're in full plate. Their armor is completely unscratched. There's no blood on it. It looks brand fucking new, and they're just sitting there in a little circle on the floor. On the NCR type.
Keep out of there.
On the NCR side of town. Sarah pieces out, seeing that the buildings around are all demolished. Sarah heads back to the wagon. And although on the same time, on the same note, sees the other 2 buildings are full of something he doesn't want to be a part of. I'll let you be the decision. I'll let you be the one who decides. The one on the middle building is full of people all smoking the same kind of brain fungus shit that the chief of Almar was smoking. So you step in, go, "Ow!" and then you step out. And the one on the left is just full of a bunch of naked people chilling.
Can I go say hi to the naked people?
Yeah, go ahead.
As I sit here, I see Sarah walk up beside me and say, "Oh, yo, what up? What'd you find?"
Hi, naked people.
Boy, oh shit, what up?
Hi, naked people. And they all look at you, and they go, "Hey, man, what's up?"
Bro, this is intense.
Yeah, no shit. So Josh, Nico, way to bring back some fucking PTSD.
Jesus Christ! All right, so you're heading back.
Y'all have fun.
You're heading back to the wagon. You hear the occasional couple pops. However, it ends up stopping after a few seconds, and the sun starts to come up. The city that was once cold, dark, and full of naked people, drugs, and gunfire, is now starting to awaken. The naked people that you just saw now step out of the house. They get off of one another, and they step outside, and they grab it. They end up heading into the alley next door, opening up a garbage can. They grab all their uniforms and they quickly suit up. Even the few people who were injured in the streets and just laying there bleeding out stand up, straighten up their uniforms, and they head into the middle of the town square, out in front of the theater. After a few minutes, you see that out in front of you are 3 very neat lines. Some of the uniforms are stained with blood and tattered, but each and every soldier does their very best to make the uniform look as presentable as possible as they all stand in their lines. They stand facing the theater, and after a few seconds, you hear a slight squeaking noise as an NCR flag begins rising on the flagpole behind them. Unlike all the other flags, this flag is very well prepared. It was probably carried by a flag bearer. Sorry, it's probably carried from an actual NCR headquarters, and it comes to the top of the flag, and all of the NCR troops then salute. As what looks to be a 30 or 40-year-old woman steps out onto the roof, steps out onto the roof of the theater and looks down at her troops.
Okay. Some order going on here.
This is the moment where Sarah goes, "Hey, faggot, jump!" No. That'd be pretty good, actually.
No, fuck that.
As they all turn and just shoot at us. No, but each soldier is carrying, seems to be carrying a service rifle, and each of those service rifles is completely clean. They look immaculate. Each one with a full clip of ammo and ready to go. The woman that who's standing on top of the theater loudly speaks to her troops. "Greetings, everybody. How we doing?"
Okay, that's pretty nonchalant.
The troops, however, have no response at all. They're completely silent, still saluting in place. That's great. That's great. So pretty good fight last night, guys. You guys did a really good job. So for today, I'm just gonna have to ask you guys to straighten things up a little bit. Try to get some more food and water. Head out into the streets around town. Try to ask the tribals for some food and supplies, because this war ain't gonna end tomorrow, but it's gonna end one day, and we gotta make sure we're ready for when that time comes. So, walk outside, get some supplies, and come back to me before nightfall so we can kill some. So we can push those Legion bastards out of here. The soldiers cease their salute and then begin walking very firmly in each direction. The lady on top of the building looks down at the wagon, and you folks.
Hey,
Hi.
¿qué pasa? What's up?
Meeting in my office. See you in 5 minutes. She then steps back into the building.